Hey guys, it's Tuesday and we're back on the Duramax. I had to do that install of hideaway strobes in a Suburban for the funeral home, so I did that yesterday. And because the video that you guys just watched was rendering, I don't have a spare video card, so it was actually in the computer and I didn't tape it. It wasn't a bad job. It went fairly simply, except really had a hard time finding a place to put the strobe unit itself, the controller, but we got her done. So we're back on this, and I scuffed this and I put one more coat of base on each fender. I had a couple guys leave a comment to hit it with some Waterborne primer, which I picked up another quart so that I had some on hand, but this side really wasn't showing me any issue. It was just the other side. And since I let it sit a couple of days, you got about 24 hours before you can recoat this, depending on whose product you use. And I went ahead and scuffed this down. Figured I'd let it sit for a day or two while I had the heat going in the shop, just in case that was a solvent trap issue. And I'm not seeing anything, and I don't think you guys could even see it in the camera, which was a shame because it was kind of aggravating and I was hoping that it would show up, but it's kind of dark over here. We're going to have a hard time even seeing this one. But the problem was right in here, so I don't see anything crazy. We'll move the light back over to that side and we'll bring you back in a minute. Alright, we got the light over on the passenger side here. And basically, I think we got coverage here. I don't know if it was just solvents escaping or what, but this is pretty much flashed off over here. I got a couple dust nibs in it, but nothing huge. Nothing that is going to cause me problems later. So we'll let that finish flashing off, and we'll check it again when it's good and dry. It's almost done flashing, but I'd like to make good and sure that it's flashed off. I may put a second coat on this side just because this is the side that was fighting me. And as of now, I'm not seeing anything. So I'll show you that Waterborne primer. Been able to find it in gray anywhere. All I can find is black, so that kind of sucks, but maybe that's the only color it comes in. I don't know. Maybe if I bought it in a gallon I could find it, but that's all I've ever been able to get. So there's the Waterborne primer. Not too expensive. I think it was 20 bucks for a quart, and it's worth its weight in gold when you have an F-up, where you get something that where you've got your base or a layer underneath your base that's starting to curdle up, and you don't know why. Some solvents or hardeners attack different things. So that's one reason it's good to stay with one paint system and not mix and match too much. So, one thing I am seeing in this fender though, about 2 inches or 3 inches in from the edge of the fender, there's a line, which I know exactly what it is. It's where it was stamped, but it's not bad. just a little faint line there, you know, whatever. But yeah, that looks like that hid that, whatever you want to call it, bleed through. You know, it's not like I'm using non-stain resistant body filler. I'm using the Platinum Plus, and it's got glazing putty over it, and Matrix 2K primer and a 2K sealer. But again, I think that sealer shit the bed on me, the activator at least. So that might have been part of the problem with this. But we got some more on order, so we're gonna get this done. So I'll bring you back in a couple minutes. Okay guys, this stuff is all flashed off, and I don't see any of the nonsense that I was seeing the other day. So we're pretty good here. We're borderline sitting at about 82 degrees in here, which it won't take us long to lose that, but a little less than 50% humidity. So I'm gonna put you guys on the stand, and we're gonna get some clear mixed up, and I'll let you guys hang out while I clear this. I had a couple people ask me in the past, you know, what do we put on over our camera to keep the overspray off of it, and the answer for me is nothing. I let the camera hang out in the overspray. The lens seems to stay okay, and I wipe it regularly, so. It's a cheap camera, it's a Kodak Play Sports, so I figure those have come down in price too. I heard somebody got one for about a little less than $100, like 60 or 70 bucks with a tripod and all kinds of goodies. So if I decide to buy another one, no worries there, because that's a screaming deal. We're going to use a 30 clear today, and we're going to use the 6 Hardner. I did buy another gallon of clear this morning, along with the Waterborne primer that I showed earlier, and the paint, because I was low on paint. And I'm going to use that 6. It didn't give me any problems on the other stuff I painted, so I think as long as I don't get too carried away. I used the 6 on that van and painted that whole quarter, and the only run I put in it was in a style line that I flooded with clear, so we're just going to go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to mix, I'm thinking, let's see, we're doing 2 Fenders, which aren't huge, but they're big enough. And I think I'm going to shoot for, well, if I mix 16 ounces, that'll be 20 ounces total with the activator in it. So I think I'm going to go for that to start with and see what I use on the first coat. Yep, we're going to go with that. I bought a whole other gallon kit of clear today, but I don't think we're going to need it. Not that I was worried we would. I had about a little less than a quarter of a gallon left in there. So we'll see if that'll do it. Again, after the first coat I'll check, and if I have at least 50% of what I started with, then usually I like to have a little bit more, because the second coat will be just a little bit wetter. Hit this with the temp gun. About 82 degrees, 85 degrees. It's been sitting in a 5-gallon bucket with warm water in it, keeping it warm so that it sprays the way it's supposed to spray. Get the strainer out here, put that in the gun, and we'll get it done. Try and keep it off the floor. Make sure my air cap's where I want it here. It looks good enough to me. So I hope this makes up for the fact I didn't show you all the base coat work. I was just having some issues and, well, letting a few choice words fly. So we'll leave it at that. Sure, the vent hole's open in the cap. I have a PPS adapter on order for this, but evidently they're on like some sort of crazy back order, which I would have never guessed, but you know. Alright, get you guys in the picture. I'm going to go hit the exhaust and get started here, get that tacked off. put another coat on this. Still just a tiny bit sticky down low, but it's been about 10 or 15 minutes. So I know it's pretty dry up top. If I get a run down low, I'll deal with it later. Notice how little overspray's in the air. When you get that gun up close, you know, talking 4 inches away, you don't get all that overspray. So there you go. We'll see if I make an ass out of myself and put it on the floor here in a minute. That's what the first coat looks like. We already got a lot of gloss. I had a little peel in the base, so it's shimmering a little bit. It's not super slick, but it's pretty damn slick. Alright, so I'll clean this gun out. And we'll take a look at that here in a minute or two. See how much of it's on the concrete. I used that naked gun stripper on this, being that it was clear. I'm going to see how that does. The stuff's pretty mean. And I ran it through the gun. And I'm going to let a little bit, I'm going to spray some of my XXX to kind of rinse that off of the outside of it, or the inside of the cup. Kind of let it sit down in there. Suspense is killing me. I gotta go check it out. Baby, she's slick. So I'm gonna cut you guys loose here. Actually, why not? We'll shoot the shit and I'll clean the gun. So you can see kind of how long that took me to do that. Screwing around, moving a light around and things like that. So, you know, it isn't all peaches and cream when you're trying to paint with low lighting. You gotta make sure you got your light where you want it so you can see. Doing completes is really hard, especially when there's a lot of overspray. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday here. And if I can keep that clear coat off the floor, I'll be having a good Tuesday. I'm liking the gun. Probably going to be a purchase here. Just got to get a couple more jobs going here to be able to do that. Take the air cap off the Iwata here and give that a little scrubby scrub here while I'm waiting. And then I'm going to take you guys out there, and the fog's pretty much about gone now. It's got a little teeny tiny bit. And you guys saw how slow I moved and how hard I was pounding that on there. You know, it's weird because the atomization on this gun is really nice, and it seems like you're almost putting too much on there. I thought about cutting my material flow back, but I don't think we're going to do that unless we get a run somewhere. Because I didn't run the door bottoms on the truck, and the only run I put in that van was my own stupidity. It had nothing to do with with it being the gun's fault, I passed that area like 3 times, which was stupid. But so far, I'm definitely happy with that. And there's a little controversy. I know a couple of you guys have bought the Plus guns. It's not that I don't like the Plus. The Plus sprays clear real nice. But I'm having trouble with it here in the winter time, and because that's the majority of the stuff that I paint, that's why I'm considering moving up. Just having a little bit more trouble with it. I painted a couple things in the summer with it, man, it was spot on. That thing does a killer job. So, I know a few people had asked me, and a few people were poking around like, you know, hey, I bought this gun, and, you know, he doesn't like it, what the hell? Well, it's not that I don't like it. It has nothing to do with that. Okay, enough about that. Alright, we got any that's trying to sneak away from us? Take you guys off the stand here and let's take a walk around. If I'd suspect anywhere, I'd suspect right in there because I pounded it a couple of times. I see some trash, but other than that, yeah, I definitely see a little bit of trash. But that's kind of what I want to see right there, the way that's laying out. I got a little peel in there, but the fender flares are going to cover that, so we'll do a scuff and buff and get the garbage out of this and buff the hood and be ready to start slapping this baby back together. Unless this stuff starts trying to crawl off the panel on me, which I don't foresee. And this side's a little peelier, but the base was a little peely too, so yeah, baby. That's what I like to see. Alright guys, enjoy the day. I'll get this uploaded for you. I gotta wind the heat back up before too long here, so I'm gonna shut you down, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Leave a comment. You got a question, feel free to leave it. See ya. Alright guys, it's about maybe 10 after 2, and I came back and I bombed another coat on it, so this has got 3 coats on it, because what I noticed, not so much on this side because my hood gap is a little wider, I didn't have my paint up on that edge real good. It was this side, so because I did that, I figured, well, I better hit both sides, so I did, and there's a little overspray just over that edge that I'll have to wipe off, but you know, that'll be down inside there. And there's also here we go, it's on the bench. This rubber molding actually goes inside there too, you know, probably due to the enormous hood gaps. So I guess I can say we kept it on the wet because it's slick. It's slick, aside from a little bit of trash, but it's slick. So if it was going to run, it would have already run by now. That's a pretty quick clear. You can see a pretty good dust nib right there too. A couple of them in that area, but I mean, look at the floor. What the hell do we expect? It is what it is. We'll nib the trash out of it and buff it and buff the hood and probably buff the door, and we got to do a little sandy where I blended that door bottom, and we'll do a buffy buff on all that and see what it looks like. If it don't match, we'll paint the damn door too. Blow a little color onto it, you know, give it a little something, just we'll mask the fender off and blow some color on the door and clear the whole damn door. Probably both of them, both sides. We'll see what happens though. We'll see how the match is. I have a feeling we're going to be okay once I buff the doors up. I don't feel like rolling that light back over here, but I'm just looking to see if I see anything. This one is a little peelier for sure, but ain't no thing. Alright, just wanted to show you that I didn't put it on the floor. We're going to get everything closed up and tidied up, and I'm going to go home and do some paperwork. So you guys have a good